Yo, what's going on YouTube? A lot to talk about tonight because the Minnesota Twins take down the Yankees 6-1. Really, it should have been a shutout, and I was gonna, be super excited about that until Moran comes in and kind of blows it. It was a scary situation there in the ninth, and honestly, I was not feeling too good. But we're gonna break down this game, what should have been a shutout. Regardless, it's a good win for the Twins. Dominant pitching, again, really good hitting. It was a very complete game tonight, and that's what's really good to see for Twins fans, especially against a good Yankees team. Just remember, a couple of weeks ago, like a week or two ago, they went into Yankee Stadium, won the first two games, then they lost the next two games pretty badly, but that's okay because they rebound tonight. They get the win, a pretty convincing win, but this just tells you how crazy baseball is, right? The Twins just lost a series to one of the worst teams in baseball in the Nationals. Not really great pitching in any of those games. And then they come out and put together a complete game against, a really tough opponent, right? Ironically, they have the same record now. They are both 13-10, but one team is in the division lead and the other team is in fourth. So it's interesting. But let's talk about the hitting tonight for the Twins. 6 runs on 10 hits. That's how you do it. 3 runs in the third. They obviously jumped out to an early lead, added to it, and then kept on rolling. So really good tonight by the Twins. They started off in the third inning. You got a walk, a couple of singles. Jorge Polanco comes up, drives in 2. They get another in the third, and then in the fourth, Joey Gallo comes up and hits a tank shot. Makes it 4-0. They added 1 in the sixth on another Polanco double. That one really should have been caught. There's no errors in the outfield, though. And then Correa had a triple, which, again, probably should have been an error. That was in the 8th. So that's how the Twins got all of their runs tonight. But really a pretty good offensive night from a lot of players on this Twins team. Let's go through those. Kepler in the leadoff spot tonight. 3 for 5 with 3 runs. He did his job tonight. A lot of off-speed pitches as well, which was kind of interesting. And then he came up in the 6th. They grooved a fastball right down the middle. I thought he was just going to unload on, but he did not. But that's an amazing night. No strikeouts. Didn't draw any walks. Didn't have any RBI, but it was 3 for 5. That's really good from Kepler in the leadoff spot. I'm not going to praise him too much. We've seen him go 0 for 5 in the leadoff spot. He got his average above 200 because of that, or to 222. He had a good game. Let's just put it that way, but need to see a lot more out of him. Correa, I already mentioned, had the RBI triple. It was his first triple of the year. Probably shouldn't have been a triple, but he gets a hit out of it, gets an RBI out of it. Cool. Polanco, though, in the 3 spot. Man, he is the hitter that we've needed. I don't know, what changed over the course of this last off season, or what he's been eating for breakfast, or I don't know. He was not this impactful last year, and really even going back to 2019 when he was an all-star. His bat has always been good. He always hits a couple of home runs a year. He's solid from both sides of the plate. This year he has lit a fire underneath him because he's been solid. Every single game has gotten a hit. Multiple games with multiple hits. Had 3 RBI tonight. The dude is batting almost 400, and it's not because of a few at-bats. Yes, he's only had a few at-bats, but he's been good in all of those at-bats. So really good for him out of the 3-hole. Yeah, he still struck out twice tonight, but whatever. Really good. I like him in the 3-hole. I hope he stays there. Buxton, though, 0-4 tonight with an RBI. Did have one of those, so not what you want to see out of Buxton, but he contributed, so you can't be too upset about that. Larnach 1 for 2. Miranda 0 for 3 was the only guy who really didn't contribute tonight. Gallo already mentioned his home run, 6th home run. I don't know if I said that, 6th home run on the year. He's catching the leaders. He's hitting on every other night, every 2 nights. So that's really good to see. I don't think that pace is consistent, but it's still cold, right? And he was injured for a while. So really good by him to keep that going. Still batting about 250. Had a couple of bad games, last couple of games. So really cool for him to stay at that high level. Vasquez over 3 tonight, and Taylor 2 for 3. He's batting 250, and if he can stay around that 250 all year, a couple of home runs, he's already got 4. That's awesome. Out of the 9-hole, beat out infield single tonight. Really, really good. On the pitching side of things, like I mentioned, this game, it should have been a shutout, right? Sonny Gray dominated tonight. He has pitched 29 innings. He has allowed 2 runs. That is a .62 ERA. He is 3-0 on the year. Went 7 innings tonight, 105 pitches, only allowed 3 hits and 2 walks, which maybe you're saying, he probably could have done it just a touch better, and maybe he could have. But the umpire really wasn't that great behind home plate, and we'll talk about that in a little bit either. But he had 8 strikeouts. Like, that's dominant. That is domination on the pitching mound. And, like, that is the Sonny Gray that I think when we traded for him, that's who we wanted our ace to be, right? We had, was he our ace in 2021, I think, technically? And he just never really panned out. He was probably like a B-plus pitcher. Like, he was good. He was good. Joe Ryan experiment didn't really work. So now they're on to Pablo. So, maybe third time's a charm there. But Sonny Gray this year has been exactly what we've needed and exactly what I think we expected him when we went and got him from Cincinnati. So I hope he continues to dominate the way he has been. Like, he has been good in every game, and I mention this every time, but, like, you're going to have 5 really good games, 5 really bad games, and everywhere else in between. This seems to be the in-between. Like, this seems to be higher on that list, but I don't think we've seen his best stuff yet. And I don't want to overhype him. I don't want to he's going to throw a perfect game, he's going to throw a no-hitter, whatever this year, but, like, that's dominating stuff. That's really, really good pitching. The Yankees looked fooled tonight by his stuff. They were swinging and missing at every one of his pitches. So, really good. Got everything working tonight. Griffin Jax came in. Didn't have a clean inning. Gave up 2 hits. Struck out 1. Hasn't looked perfect, but he got out of it. And that was a huge point in this game. The bases were loaded. And Griffin Jax comes in. Not looking good. Anthony Rizzo at the plate. I mean, this game, it was 5-0 at that time, so it wouldn't have mattered if he hit a grand slam. It would have probably, made me a lot more nervous, but he came in, didn't look great, found it when he needed to. Righty versus lefty, Rizzo being the lefty, threw him 3 straight strikes, struck him out. And I don't know, they weren't all strikes. He got him swinging, but he showed up when he needed to and dropped the hammer on him. So that was awesome by Jax. He hasn't been solid, but he's been good. He's been good enough, and I think that's the big point of this game. On the last note for pitching, though, Moran. Oh, boy. Like I said, this probably should have been a shutout. Moran came in 6-0. That's why he was in. But if you don't recall, against Boston, the first game of that series, it was the first game. When they went to extras, the Twins had a 4-2 lead. Obviously, there was a runner on base because of the extra inning rule, but he came in, lost them that game. And tonight, bases loaded, nobody out. It looked like he was in trouble again. And they kept him out there. And he did it. He got out of the inning somehow, got a ground ball, got the strikeout on Hicks, got a fly ball from Trevino. Like, I thought the Trevino one might have been a home run too. And the Hicks at bat, like what I was going to mention about the umpire, a couple of non-strikes that were called strikes. And in previous at-bats, strikes, I think it was the Trevino at-bat, strikes that were called balls. The umpire was garbage tonight. But whatever, the Twins get out of it, and Moran only allowed 1 run out of it. So, not pretty on his end at all, but enough to make it a 6-1 game. Obviously, I wish there was a shutout on the Yankees. That would have been a cool title, but Sonny Gray just continues to dominate. Hitting was complete tonight. Everyone got involved. Even though they were only 4 for 12 with runners in scoring position, they did their damage early. They added to it throughout the game. It never really went quiet. That's what's important. And they left 9 guys on base, which isn't good, but you're getting a lot of guys on base against the Yankees. Cool. Like, that's what we want to see, right? And on the Yankees side of things, the last note I'll say, they were 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position tonight. They left 8 guys on base. They had opportunities when they got guys on base, especially late in the game against our bullpen. And our bullpen wasn't pretty, but it got the job done. So that's what matters. A win is a win. It wasn't necessarily super pretty, especially, like I said, towards the end, but they did enough to get the first win against the Yankees. And if they could take one more of the next 2, I hope they're at home, they would take the season series against the Yankees. When was the last time that happened, right? So positives to look forward to, but thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed a fun game. Really good all around. And I guess we'll see you back here tomorrow for the next one. Peace.